Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. Dai-chan here, and you're watching the Waifu Files, a series where we discover and celebrate anime through their lovely ladies. Today we'll be rating the waifu from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, a legendary anime created by Studio Gainax, the guys who made Evangelion. I've covered the waifu for that as well. The timing's perfect, as Aniplex has recently released the 2 Gurren Lagann compilation films back to theaters in 4K. It's also the very first time those movies are getting dubbed in English, and that excites me since the original show had a fantastic dub recorded out of Bang Zoom Entertainment in California. Speaking of entertainment, consider buying your anime figures from Entertainment Earth. Use my affiliate link to get 10% off all in-stock items, as well as free US shipping on orders $79 and up. Sadly, their only Gurren Lagann figures are currently sold out, so instead I'll recommend this affordable Mashu statue from Banpresto, as well as this premium C2 bunny girl. I'm shameless, given there's a Waifu Files for Code Geass you can watch right now. Also, don't forget you can buy a sweet Dakimakura of me from Cuddly Octopus. All the relevant links are in the description. Without further ado, let's dive into some waifu. Oh, and as usual, be prepared for spoilers. Gurren Lagann takes place in a world where humanity has been forced to live underground by their cruel overlord, Lord Genome. To patrol the Earth, Genome creates primitive beastmen and arms them with mechs called gunmen. Life is hard beneath the surface, but a rebellion gains momentum, allowing humans to fight back and steal the gunmen for themselves. In their endeavor to seek freedom, our heroes bite off more than they were expecting. Lord Genome has a method to his madness, suppressing humanity to keep them safe from an even greater threat. Truth is, humans are part of a great people known as the Spiral Race, who have been hunted to extinction by the Anti-Spiral. While his consideration is sincere, he underestimates just how powerful our hero Simon and his friends can become. Theirs is a drill that will reach the heavens. It's worth noting that this anime has a whole lot of side characters that only play a small role in the narrative. Sibella Kuto here, for instance, is barely noticeable. They're all pretty cute, but not substantial enough to give dedicated ratings to. Some people save the best for last, but I sure as hell don't. Yet another one of anime's all-time best waifu is Yoko Littner, a fiery female whose pants are hotter than the barrel of her rifle. Yoko gets her last name by being born to the underground Littner village. After a gas leak flushed them out to the surface, she and her fellow villagers had no choice but to fend for themselves under attack from the Beastmen. Thus, Yoko herself is on the case when a gunman crashes down onto the neighboring Jiha village. She comes in guns blazing and meets our other protagonists, Simon and Kamina. Thanks to Simon unearthing his very own gunman, the three fight back and plot a course for freedom. Yoko's arsenal is decked out with a long-range superconductive rifle modeled after a Barrett M82, as well as different sidearms. The 2 chopsticks holding her hair back can also be used to pierce her foes. As a member of Team Dai-Guren, she is smart and level-headed. She possesses a vast array of survival skills, and her vantage as a sniper allows her to observe and strategize before rushing into a fight. For as aggressive and competitive as she can be sometimes, she's also just as nurturing, often demonstrating a maternal instinct to protect her loved ones. It's fair to say that she keeps Kamina's chaos in check. Yoko confesses her feelings to him, planting what fans call the kiss of death, because, ultimately, Kamina dies in battle. Understandably, this breaks her heart, but she courageously carries on so that his efforts aren't in vain. The incident hardens her heart, and it's not until Lord Genome's defeat that she can finally settle down. At that point, she decides to leave the newly constructed Kamina City to become a teacher, Miss Yomako. For a while, she finds true happiness in this endeavor, but chooses to re-enter the fray when the Anti-Spirals attack. Turns out, Kamina's not the only one she plants the kiss of death on. During their final battle, her ally Kitan decides to sacrifice himself to destroy the Death Spiral machine. Despite knowing he won't come back, he embraces and smooches Yoko before flying out to save the crew. After 2 of her love interests up and die on her, it appears she yearns once more for a quiet life. Yoko returns to being a teacher and eventually becomes the principal of her own school. Seriously, Yoko's just the best, and that kiss of death might just be worth it. Her fashion is awesome, choosing less attire so that she doesn't restrict her movement. At the same time, she doesn't let the way people see her define what she's capable of. Instead of shame, she embraces her divine body, while refusing to let anyone else walk all over her. She's a total queen at slaying the anti-spirals and triggering antis online. For that, I give her the full 5 stars. Oh, how I envy Buta. It must be so cozy in there. Let's keep going, because we're just getting started. Next up is Nia Teppelin, one of Lord Genome's many daughters. I mentioned earlier that Genome dominated the surface to limit the human population. He used to fight the anti-spirals as a general of the spiral race. However, during this war, he learned that the anti-spirals feared the coming of a spiral nemesis, a great calamity that could emerge from overusing spiral energy. Sharing this fear, Lord Genome made an agreement with the anti-spirals, allowing humans to exist so long as their population remains under 1 million. Ironically, that didn't stop him from populating his own genome, if you catch my drift. He was a lech, gathering hot young women from various villages into one. He'd then take those women as his concubines, fathering various children, which he would toss aside and execute. There seems to be a lot of theory crafting as to why. Presumably, the anti-spirals meant to keep tabs on humanity by altering the genetic code of children such that, if the population reaches its limit, they will awaken as the anti-spiral's messenger. Some say Genome was gathering women who were most likely to have this genetic factor, and that he destroyed his children when they became self-aware to prevent them from being his enemy. Regardless, Nia happens to be one of Lord Genome's daughters, who was similarly abandoned after growing up and questioning his dominion over mankind. She was sealed away in a box and tossed to the dump to be crushed by gunmen, but Simone found her and prevented her death. As a child, the only human Nia could talk to was her father, resulting in her lacking basic social skills. She's cordial yet naive, but most importantly, her heart is in the right place. Nia comforts Simone after Kamina's death, trying to help him move forward. Yoko finds this insensitive at first, but the two come to a mutual understanding. On the Dai Gurren, she offers to cook meals for the crew, only to nearly poison them all with her incompetence. Regardless, she is beloved by her shipmates, and Simone finally breaks out of his depression in order to rescue her from the Beastmen. She reluctantly accepts that her father is the enemy, and while she doesn't want to fight, she sticks by Simone during Genome's defeat. 7 years later, though she's initially clueless to the concept, she tenderly accepts Simone's proposal. Sure enough, however, Nia does have the genetic factor of the anti-spirals inside her, and when civilization advances too far, she awakens as a vassal for the anti-spirals. Happiness is robbed right out from underneath her, as she's turned into a virtual being who declares the imminent destruction of Earth. Simone and his friends seek to rescue Nia, even as she's used as the anti-spiral's pawn. As time passes, her body begins to disintegrate, and she can only maintain her form through sheer force of will. Impressively, she endures long enough to reunite with her beloved and strike down the anti-spiral once and for all. Tragically, this does nothing to halt her decomposition. She bravely holds out just long enough to marry Simone before vanishing, which to this day I find to be absolute bullshit. They made such a great couple, too. In commemoration, I honor Nia with 5 stars. She's adorable, stoic, passionate, and deserves way better than she got. I like to think her love still lives on within Simone. Earlier, I mentioned Kitan Bachika. He and his sisters are the Black Siblings, 4 orphans who travel the surface hunting beastmen after their original village was destroyed. The 3 Bachika ladies are Kyo, Kial, and Kinon, who are bold, mischievous, and calmly intelligent, respectively. At first, they mainly follow their older brother as he stubbornly feuds with Kamina. The 2 men become rivals, but after Kamina dies, the sisters step up to join the fight. Kyo and Kial become gunman pilots, whereas Kinon becomes a crew member of the Dai Gurren. Even though they aren't always front and center, they help build morale and play an important role in dethroning Lord Genome. During the 7 years between plot arcs, Kyo marries an ally named Dayaka, becoming pregnant with his child. With support from her sister Kyo, Kyo gives birth to a healthy baby girl named Anne. The two of them remain in Kamina City, while Simon and the others fight the anti-spirals. Kinon, on the other hand, falls for her ally Rossiu and signs on as his subordinate. She supports Rossiu even when conflict emerges between him and Simon. This means conspiring with the controversial decision of imprisoning Simon, which Rossiu believes will help protect the city. When this proves to be a bogus move, however, Kinon is forced to team up with Simon to find Rossiu and prevent his suicide. In that regard, she becomes a pillar he can depend on when governing the city. These sisters are great, and each one earns 3 stars. It's hard to pick a favorite, though it's clear Kinon gets the most development and screen time. Back in Rossiu's old village, he took care of 2 twins named Darry and Darry Adai. They were children during the first arc, but grow up to pilot their own gunmen after the time skip between arcs. Darry used to be an innocent child who clung to her stuffed doll. She and her brother were selected by the village to be exiled, as their community could only sustain so many residents. Luckily, they were taken in by Simon's crew instead of perishing to the harsh conditions outside on their own. Upon joining Kamina City's defense unit, Darry has cast away her youthful naivete, embracing a calm and collected persona that clashes with her brother's recklessness. The two fight against the anti-spirals, but nearly die in the conflict. They are saved when their partners Yorgun and Balinbo sacrifice themselves, though I'm fairly certain this gets retconned in the movie version. In the epilogue, Darry and Gimme become the new pilots of Gurren Lagann. Darry's adorable, but I'm not exactly attracted to her. As such, I give her 2 stars. Perhaps if we saw more of her as an adult, I'd reconsider. Real quick, let's cover a waifu who only appears in the episode 5 OVA in the Gurren Lagann game on Nintendo DS. This girl, Tetori, is a cat-like beast girl who tries to sabotage Kamina, Simon, and Yoko on their journey. She serves as a distraction so that her partner can steal the Gurren. When their plan fails, she takes to her own gunmen to help them escape. She's pretty cute, I guess. How about 3 stars? I mean, she's got midriff. I don't want to go any lower. Gurren Lagann's villains tend to be men, but one of Lord Genome's top generals is a scorpion woman named Adine the Elegant. She's as curvaceous as she is ill-tempered. She's quick to start a fight, and even lashes out against her own teammates when the going gets rough. In a rare surprise, she's actually one of Lord Genome's daughters, one who was made into a beastman rather than executed. Hoping to avenge her fallen partner Timulf, she attacks Dai Gurren and nearly kills Nia. Even though the Beastman Viral saves Adine, she takes her anger out on him. In the show, she tries to drown Dai Gurren and take Nia hostage, only to perish as her gunman is destroyed. In movie form, she has an extended fight scene with Yoko, being pushed back before succumbing to Simon's drill. I can appreciate a good femme fatale, but she's just nasty. I give her 1 star. Her arrogant, condescending attitude shows on her face, and she's all the uglier for it. Our final waifu for now is the chief engineer for Dai Gurren, Leyte Jokin. She shows up when more and more humans start emerging to rebel against the Spiral King. During the first arc, she spends nearly all of her screen time tending to Dai Gurren's spiral engine. In that capacity, she shares the fate of the ship, taking on damage when it does. Clothing damage, that is. It's a shame she's a smoker, but hey, she seems like a decent woman. She's definitely smart as hell, and without her, the crew would have failed. In the second arc, she's married to Maken, one of the gunman pilots, and has 3 children with him. Together, they build weapons for the new government of Kamina City, and seem to have a nice family going until the anti-spirals attack. The couple helps out for the final battle, and in the anime, Maken tragically dies. It seems the movie retcons this death as well. It's always weird when anime films do that, such as with Macross Frontier. Anyway, I give Leyte 2 stars. I can see she's rockin' the lab coat, but she's no Makise Kurisu. Check out my Steins Gate waifu files to learn more about her. So there you have it, another 9 waifu covered in this series. My ratings are totally subjective, so feel free to either agree with or debate them in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed these waifu, and look forward to the next video. See you later!
Thanks for watching.
If you enjoy this channel, help us grow by liking, commenting, sharing the video, subscribing to OtakuDaiKun, and
Most of all, smashing that notification bell so you don't miss out on all our anime lore, discussions, and Let's Play content.
you can support us directly through Patreon, Subscribestar, or a YouTube membership, all of which come with benefits like spicy exclusive vids and early access.
As always, celebrate your fandom. I want to give a special shout out to all my $10 and up supporters. Video Gamer 75, Dante Pendragon, Stephen Elak, Samuel Gersten, The Nonchalant Ostrich, Otaku Mom, Jens Bauman, Mystic Samurai 1983, Lord Ormagoden, Free Brick, Alexis Yukio Gomez Yamato, Link Pendrago, Olympian Doll, Observer Bellis, James Hewitt, Uncanny EXP, Scout, Zamas Autonomous, Jared, Yukie Eros, Crow Kalem, Saul Soto, Tristan Riggin, Major, Sogai CH, Caitlin P, Vladimirovna, The Taz 96, Kengo X 77, Hairsha of E-Rated Hands, Alistair Bernadotte, and Akakaze Yume. Thank you all so much.